All right. Good morning, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Good morning, sir.
All right. So we have started applying JavaScript in that project, which we started some time ago. I think it was only one person that was available then. So what we just do is to complete the projects and see if the application can start functioning. Remember that we are trying to develop an app which is also called an e-commerce application that enables users to purchase items from our websites. And we went a little bit further in the last class to add some simple CSS, which I also encourage that you can actually take our time to add more CSS. So I needed just to enhance it a little before we start applying JavaScript. So what we expect to get at the end of fully developing this app is the way that when a visitor visits this website and they click on any of these buttons, the items should be listed in the cart and not just listed the item, the details talking about the price should also be total. That's actually what we are looking at. So I will now take us to the JavaScript code we have written. Then we'll just add a few ones and see how the app can start functioning. Okay, so in our JavaScript file, what we have done so far is to grab the elements that are involved, store them within JavaScript. Then we started adding add event listener. Remember that it was the add event listener that actually led to this, because we treated that as one of the powerful JavaScript function. We are looking at how we can use it to create a meaningful application within our website. So what we have done here is that we created a variable. The variable is to store a method which falls under JavaScript DOM, which means JavaScript document object manipulation or modeling. And I told us that JavaScript DOM, the method used to select or to reference elements in HTML, just like we have it when we were in CSS. You know, we have various ways we were selecting elements in HTML. We are actually selecting elements with their tag name. We're selecting elements with their class names. We are also selecting elements with their ID name. So something similar to that kind of thing, that is what we are talking about. So that is just like CSS, HTML, object, and modeling. So in JavaScript, you must also learn how you capture elements from your HTML file and store them in your JavaScript so that functions like the one we are applying can be relating to them right from here, not traveling to the HTML. Right, some of those individual functions and methods we are practicing must have also exposed us to what I'm talking about. So here we created a variable and we name it what? Buttons. And then we use this method called document.querySelectorAll, which is a little bit deviated from the usual method, get element by ID, but it's one of the JavaScript word DOM. All right, it's one of the JavaScript DOM concept or method which we use in grabbing multiple or single elements. The difference between using it to grab multiple elements is by not adding this all. So in other words, we can have document.querySelector. That is when you want to grab just one element. Like you go to the page now, you discover that we are programming it in a way that that same button should function when the user click on any product. So we are not actually limiting it to one product. If you go to the front end that I prompted us to the other time, let me see if I can still see the front end open. Okay. Now, at Deepin, we want to program that add event listener to just this element, that it is only when the users click on this add to cart that it will be added to the what? To the cart. Then we will have used selector, query selector. But why we use query selector? Or we want to capture elements with a unique ID. What this element needs to use that function is to have the same ID with the same ID. And that is exactly what we are displaying here. If you come here, you see it here. So the criteria for the selection of any of the elements is an element with an ID, add to cart. So if you go back to your code, you will see that, if you go back to your HTML, you see that what? There is an element. Let's look at the button here. You can see this particular product 2, has a class called add-to cart. And then let's check another product. We have another product here. We have another product 1, which also have that same class. And when you are using query selector, it's just like you are using the same CSS concept. You know, in CSS, when we are selecting a class element, we usually add what? Dot. If I want to select an ID element, what I'm going to do is just to change this dot to hash. That same way we operate it. And that is why, well, because it's very similar to CSS method. I hope we are following. I'm just doing that brief recapping because of
the thing, he wasted time almost to 6.
hope you can see hear me. Let me confirm again. Let's add before. Can you hear me? Okay, I believe you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So we have started. I think the video is available. I don't think I've uploaded it because I asked how to copy, I think to snap it. Yeah, we'll just upload both of them at the same time. So what we have left now, is to create a JavaScript code for the cards. For the cards, remember that the cards is this. Let me see if I can see the cards here. Okay. The card is this. So right now we have already programmed actions on this, but we need to also program some action on the card so that it knows that whenever a user clicked on any of these products, the items should be listed here. So we will just conclude that part and then ensure that every one of us complete it before we move forward. So I'll come outside here. And then write, let me use comment to explain what I'm doing at this point. So we're creating, create cart item. Create cart item. So I will say let li equals to document dot get element by ID. Get element, because the element that is representing our card is ID. That is why we are using this JavaScript DOM method. So the ID I'm using to grab it is li. So let me take us back to the HTML structure to see the ID, so you know what we are talking to. So this is the card section. This is the cards heading. This is the UL. And what do we have here? We have the UL, and then we are supposed to have let me hope we not make mistakes somewhere. Just a minute. Let me confirm from my HTML. I think we are correct. Okay, so let me just observe the code. If it doesn't respond, we will. So the ID, I was trying to look at where we use an ID that's li that I'm using then. I want to see. This is p tag ID. Okay, so let's say we have this. So which means that we are grabbing an element with an ID li, and we are storing it in what? In li variable. Come back to that if it doesn't assume the list inside that particular element, ul. So now we will now say li. So this is where we are sending the contents to the element ul. If you check the ul there's no li. So what we are doing here now, we are saying that what? We are sending a content, li dot test content. So this is one of the JavaScript DOM property, test content. That is, you are referring to what is inside. And we can say equals to name, and we are adding, concatenating with the plus, name plus. So we are sending a string that is to add the $sign when the item comes from the products div. So we just add this just to reflect, and dollar to show that once you add the item to list, to add the currency to it. Then we are also concatenating that with the price. So it will add it to the price. Remember, there is a variable that you have named price, which is this. And then this name is coming from this. So once it grabs this element with its data hyphen name, which is the attribute, which is already here, it will grab the price and also store it in price. So what you are calling is that you are taking what has been stored here, and then you are displaying it with what has been stored here, which means that at the end of the day, we are expected to display the name of the product and the price. That is what this code represents. So now the next line is to append. So that append is where we are installing the LI that was supposed to be inside this UL. Remember that I call an ID LI, and we were looking for where the LI is. So from JavaScript, we are going to create that LI inside the UL, which is one of those things that is possible. You can actually model an element in JavaScript into HTML. So what I'm simply saying is that if I don't want to create H2 here, I can use JavaScript DOM element or concept to create the element. That is exactly what we want to do right now. So to do that, we are going to say, we're going to use a function called append, and it's a child element because it's going under a parent element, which is the UL. So the way you will communicate that is you simply say cat, concatenate dot append child, append child. So you are not just creating, you are creating the element under another parent element. Now, what are we adding? Which elements are we creating in JavaScript into HTML structure? Is LI coming inside? Now, if you go here, look at it here. Remember that we have grabbed this particular UL with this word ID, cat. That's why we are saying cat dot, which means this child element is coming inside this element with an ID cat. And if you go to your JavaScript, you will notice that you have already captured it with the word, the name. We have already captured it with the name, and then we have already stored it here. All right, so which means that the one we are relating with right now is not this one. The one we are referencing, where we say cat dot, is this one, because we know that inside this cat, the whole of this element is already grabbed and stored in there. So we are calling that element. So indirectly, when you say cat, is the UL, with this ID that you are referencing. So we are saying that, okay, we want to add an element inside, and the element we are adding inside comes in there as a child. And that is why we say what? Append child. Append child. Now, which of the elements then is a function? You have to complete it. So you just say what? Li. So which means that with this simple code like this, you have just, is equivalent to what you have done from JavaScript. It's just like in JavaScript, you have done something like this, where you will have manually type it. So you have added this now from JavaScript. So that is why it was left blank. So that is just to show us that you can actually add HTML element right from JavaScript, applying JavaScript DOM concept. So now we have to update the cat. We have to update the cat so that when somebody click, remember that this particular LI that we created here, the list, is just to be holding the content. When somebody click, The work of the li is to add it. Is like a container that is used to render it. It's like a container that when an element is clicked, it will come inside the cart, which is just UL. And then, of course, we know that the UL is just a marker. So it needs a list tag for it to hold any item. So that is what we have just communicated. So we needed this child element in the UL to grab or to hold any product the person is going to click. So now, but we have to update it. We have to update it. So for us to update it, all we need to do, let me put it in comment for better understanding. So for us to update this, we have to, what are we updating? We are updating total. We are writing a code that will display the total when they click. If somebody select 2 or more products, the calculation should be done. So we now say total plus, that is, remember that we have total, we have a variable that is holding the total. Remember that we have total. Let me see. Yes, we have total. We have total. I think total should be in, this is total that is grabbed and stored in total display. Okay, so we are creating this new variable. We say total plus, which means that whatever you have there, if the total is currently 0, like we have it in your HTML right now, your total is currently 0 before they start clicking. So what we are communicating is that whatever value you have there, add the price. That's the meaning of that plus. Plus equals to. It means what? You have a value already. So whatever you have there, the new one the person clicks should be added to it. So there should be increment. You always add to what is existing. That's the meaning of that plus equals to, which we learned under operator. So the next thing is I will now what to be added to the total is price. Is price. Price of that item the user must have clicked. Then I will add the code there. Then I will now total display, which is this one here. So you take this one, what is in that value, in that variable is what you want to display now. So you now say total display dot the text or the content. And how do we specify that? We use this same DOM property. That is what you are referring to, what is holding, what is inside. And then it should be equals to total, 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 which is this one now, should be equals to total. And then we can now have our bracket close. So what I'm going to do is to take the whole of this so that we'll get the syntax right. Let me take the whole of this and bring them inside here. So we have 2 closing brackets. Let me remove them so that everything. Okay. Or we can as well separate them. So you are going to end them differently. So I'll start by ending this one. And then, start by ending this one and also finally ending this. So remember the structure while we are having it aligned. So you must take note of how, because that can also be a reason why it will not communicate. So we have created all the functions that need to be created. So if we click and it doesn't, then we have to troubleshoot. But I believe we have communicated all that need to be communicated. So let's go to the front end now and see. So if the user click, we expected, so something is still wrong, we're still going to debug. because at this point, once we click here, it's supposed to what? Start displaying the product here, because that is the communication we have established. So as usual, sometimes we discover that the JavaScript was not working external, and we have to troubleshoot with what? Internal, before you conclude. So any question first, because I'm going to take it to the internal to confirm whether that is the issue. Hello, are we still here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Hello,
let me.
sir.
Okay. Are you saying
Can
something?
you, yes. My question is this, this closing parenthesis,
This one, right?
my own is not double like your own. It's different.
Yes, that is what I just did now. I copied this one that was outside and I took it inside. Mine was like
No, it's
that,
not about taking it inside. You know your own come in pairs, 2, 2.
like this. Yes.
Your own come in pairs, 2, 2. But mine is just one. Another
Uh,
one will be up.
if you are having one, it means your alignment is not right. The code are not well captured. Maybe you must have written all of them in one. Now look at this. You have to take note of where the bracket is open. Why? There's a way your code align while you started writing that will make it to go like this. Now, if you look at it here, this was the very first function, which is the add event listener. This particular one now, this particular opening one, that is the one that is closing here. If you look at let's look at it. The one of add event listener is the first one, I guess so. Yes, it's the first one. And inside it we have these two variable. Inside it we have these two variable. Now it's closed here. We have another. Why this one have to here? Because we created another function called pass integer. So that one ended here. So we are still inside the add event listener. We are still inside the add event listener. And then we open this one and it closes here. We open this one and it closes here. We open this one, it has not closed. So we are still going. We are still going. We are still going. I'm trying to look at where the closing is, because that also can be the reason why it's not running once these are wrongly aligned. So if you look at this line, let this, it's possible that your own might be correct, but let me check, because I'm trying to find out where this one open. Come in, let me check. From loop all button. Come in, let me check it out and see. There's possibility of your own being correct, but let me confirm. This one. Come, let me check something. Hello, are we still here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just have to debug it and see differently. Sometime in JavaScript might just be a minor error. Now, this was the one I have to create another copy and try having all the scripts in one file instead of separating. So I have two, which is this now. I have my CSS, the same file at the top here. And then I relocated the JavaScript back to the same file. I wrap them in the scripts as we know. Now, this is the code we are debugging. So you can see that the reason why we were not getting that result was because of having them separated. Because now that they are in one in one document, it worked perfectly. Now coming back to the two brackets, the two brackets have to be there. Look at this. You see this for each. Do you have it in your own? This line, this for each. So there's a bracket that it open first before the add event listener open, which is this one. Madam, can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we are looking for which one is this one, which one is closing this. So this one that you are seeing with this color is this, the for each, which means that the add event listener is inside the for each function. That is why you have its own here. You can even see the color. This one, this is its own closing. While this one, this is its own closing. So that is what is happening there. So that was what I discovered initially. I was writing all this here. I was writing them after it, as if I was writing them outside where they ought to be. That was why I copy, I cut and paste. Now, if we go to the front end now and check, we go to the front end. So these are like the two products. I've not added the image. I just wanted to just confirm it. So if somebody click here now, you see that what? It add the product name and the price. And if somebody click here, and then you can see that it's listing them and it's also giving us what? The total.
Total.
So if you have 10 products here, if the person is adding all of them will be listed and their total will be calculated. That is what we're trying to configure here that time. So like I told us, this one is a basic cut. If you want to go advanced, we can actually, because the code for different type, some of them, the codes are not much, under the codes are much based on the communication. But thank God for the era of AI. Whatever type of cut you want to get now, you can use AI to generate the code. So the only thing that we are going to look at, probably I'm going to come up with another project on this. And then after that project, we will now go to Bootstrap. We apply the remaining ones there. Now, and what will be that project? That project is that after clicking on this, it will not just be just achieving what we just achieved now. After clicking, if somebody wants to make payments, there will be a button that will click, which is called buy. And then the person will be taken to a payment gateway. So I will now teach us how we can activate payment gateway and how after selecting the product, the person can proceed to successfully purchase that item, because the work of this is not just to display the total. It's not just a calculator. You should be able to pay. The customer should be able to select and know the total. And then after knowing the total, he or she should be able to what? To make payments online. And that is one that will lead us to a payment gateway. So that one will be more complex than this. So, but what I'm going to do is that I may not go into explaining the complexity of it. I will just go straight to the aspects of activating payment gateway on it. So like I just told you, you can use AI to generate to where we stop now. So where you need to do manual work, where you need to apply your knowledge is the payment gateway, because that one, AI cannot generate it for you. You have to go and register with a payment gateway and then get your public key and your secret key before you can link it up with this purchase. I hope that is clear. So you can check now. Maybe you can snap this one and rewrite your code to correct it. Or you can even do what I did. You know, initially all these were outside this, so you can just light cut and then bring it inside, and that settles it. I hope we are still together.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir, but before we end the class, I would like to share my screen so that
okay,
because all
okay. Oh yeah, go ahead. Let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing.
Okay.
Send your request.
Okay.
Well, you send it for the video.
Yes, I will send the last video and this one so that you can watch that one to get to where we started from.
I'll send the request.
Yes, I've clicked. Yeah, I think it's coming up. You can share now. I think I've allowed you.
Okay.
I think it's called. If you can zoom a little, please.
I've done that.
Let's go to where you have. I think you are correct from this point now. Go down, go down. Let me see. Let me see where.
Madam, I just carried the other one up now.
What you do here is that you put the cursor in front of the, yes, in front of that one that you are seeing there. Yes, in front of it. Press the backspace key. Let it. I want it to go up so I can go to the back of that calling bracket. Then bring the cursor and merge it together. Bring the cursor and merge it together. Merge it together. Then add the closing semicolon there. Add semicolon at the back to show that you have closed that one. Then the same thing you do to this one now. You add semicolon.
Open.
Oh, yeah, go and check now. Let's see.
Mm.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, is there any site or any place somebody can be downloading good quality video picture?
A picture that you want to use for designs.
Yes.
You go to Unsplash.
On Splash.
Yes.
Okay.
Chibuzo.
Um,
Once I'm done with the class, I will take you to your
I'm
son.
waiting for you to share your screen. No, we have not seen it.
Okay. I stopped sharing, I've not I've not transferred the CSS to the other side.
Okay, all right. So, all right, no wahala then. So, you can go and work on and complete the project. Let me see if I can export
And
the
let
video.
me have your screen.
Okay. Let me know when you are done.
Mm.